Some games are great, and then there are the ones that redefine what greatness even means. Today, we're diving into 50 perfect 10 out of 10 masterpieces, games so incredible they will absolutely blow your mind. If you're ready to upgrade your gaming list forever, let's jump right in.
There ain't no way this will finish.
Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't just a game, it's an experience that defines what storytelling in gaming can truly be. Developed by Rockstar Games, it's a sprawling, emotional, and beautifully detailed journey through the dying days of the American frontier. You step into the boots of Arthur Morgan, a loyal outlaw and member of the Van der Linde gang. His life is one of loyalty, survival, and moral conflict. As the world around him changes, Arthur is forced to question everything he believes in. The writing here is masterful, rich with nuance, emotion, and unforgettable characters that make every choice feel deeply personal. The world itself is alive. From the bustling streets of Saint Denis to the quiet forests and snowy mountains, every inch of this world feels handcrafted and breathing with life. You'll witness breathtaking sunsets, dynamic weather, and random encounters that make your journey feel unique every time you play. Gameplay blends exploration, survival, and cinematic storytelling seamlessly. Whether you're robbing a train, helping a stranger on the road, or simply sitting by the campfire listening to your gang's stories, Red Dead Redemption 2 pulls you into its world like few games ever can. And then there's the emotion. Arthur's journey is powerful, tragic, and unforgettable. His struggle for redemption in a world that's leaving him behind stays with you long after the credits roll. Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't just one of the best single-player games ever made. It's a storytelling masterpiece, a world that feels alive, and a journey that will break your heart in the best way possible.
Good. Hey, can't we all
I'll plug you one.
Come on, I ain't finished!
Something else.
What in the hell? Fool!
Este lugar está podrido hasta la médula.
What in the hell?
I think we...
Drop the bastard! Hit the explosion! It's our only...
Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty is the redemption arc we never saw coming, a thrilling, mature, and deeply cinematic expansion that transforms Night City into the immersive RPG it was always meant to be. Developed by CD Projekt Red, this DLC takes the base game to new heights with a gripping spy thriller storyline, stunning visuals, and refined gameplay that feels sharper and more impactful than ever. You step back into the shoes of V, pulled into the deadly world of espionage in Dogtown, a new, lawless district brimming with tension, secrets, and danger. Teaming up with FIA agent Solomon Reed, played brilliantly by Idris Elba, you're thrown into a web of political deception, moral conflict, and impossible choices that keep you hooked from start to finish. It's darker, smarter, and far more grounded than the original campaign, a story that tests loyalty and identity in a world built on lies. Gameplay has been completely overhauled, featuring improved combat, smarter AI, new skill trees, and a fresh approach to stealth and cyber warfare. Dogtown itself feels alive, gritty, neon-soaked, and dripping with atmosphere. Whether you're hacking enemies mid-fight or cruising through the rain-drenched streets at night, the experience is pure cyberpunk perfection. Visually and technically, Phantom Liberty is breathtaking. The lighting, reflections, and facial animations set a new benchmark for the genre. Personally, I think this expansion isn't just an add-on, it's a full-fledged reinvention. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty is intense, emotional, and unforgettable, a true masterpiece that finally delivers on the promise of Night City.
Do you think that makes you fucking clever?
Gonna regret
I'll
this!
teach you not to fuck with Yuri!
Any last words?
Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima is a breathtaking, emotional epic, a masterpiece that blends art, storytelling, and samurai combat into one unforgettable experience. Developed by Sucker Punch Productions, it takes you to 13th century Japan during the Mongol invasion of Tsushima Island, where honor and survival collide. You play as Jin Sakai, a noble samurai torn between tradition and necessity. When his world is shattered by war, Jin must abandon the path of honor to become something new, something feared, the Ghost. His journey is one of sacrifice, identity, and the painful cost of freedom. The storytelling is poetic and cinematic, filled with moments of quiet reflection and devastating emotion. The island itself feels alive. Golden fields, whispering forests, and blood-red sunsets paint a world that's as beautiful as it is brutal. Every frame looks like a moving piece of art. Combat is a graceful dance between precision and power. Whether you're clashing swords in honorable duels or striking from the shadows as the Ghost, every encounter feels deliberate and meaningful. The sound of steel, the gust of wind, and the subtle music all come together in perfect harmony. Ghost of Tsushima isn't just a game. It's an experience that captures the soul of a warrior and the beauty of a world worth fighting for.
Someday.
Black Myth Wukong. Few games have generated as much excitement as Black Myth Wukong, a visually jaw-dropping action RPG inspired by the legendary Chinese tale Journey to the West. Developed by Game Science, this title blends myth, martial arts, and next-gen visuals into an unforgettable experience that pushes the boundaries of what modern gaming can look and feel like. You step into the shoes of the Destined One, a mysterious warrior whose powers draw heavily from Sun Wukong, the Monkey King himself. The story unfolds in a world teeming with ancient deities, monstrous beasts, and divine landscapes, all rendered with jaw-dropping realism. Combat in Black Myth. Wukong is fast, fluid, and deeply satisfying. You'll wield a transforming staff capable of both swift combos and crushing blows, while mastering powerful abilities that let you shapeshift into mythical creatures or summon divine magic. Each encounter feels like a dance between patience and aggression, timing your dodges, parries, and spells perfectly to overcome enemies that test both your skill and strategy. But it's not just the gameplay that captivates, it's the presentation. The cinematic camera work, motion-captured animations, and breathtaking lighting make every frame feel like a living painting. The haunting soundtrack complements the tension perfectly, amplifying every swing of your staff and every roar of your enemies. Personally, Black Myth Wukong feels like a glimpse into the future of action RPGs, a game that combines mythological storytelling, cinematic visuals, and tight, deliberate combat into something truly extraordinary. It's not just about playing a legend, it's about becoming one. Elden Ring. When it comes to modern masterpieces, Elden Ring stands at the very top, a breathtaking open-world RPG that redefines freedom, challenge, and discovery. Developed by From Software in collaboration with George R.R. Martin, this game takes the studio's iconic dark fantasy formula and expands it into a vast, interconnected world filled with danger, mystery, and wonder at every turn. You play as the Tarnished, a fallen warrior called back to the lands between to seek the power of the Elden Ring and claim the title of Elden Lord. What follows is an epic journey across towering castles, eerie swamps, ancient ruins, and golden plains. A world so rich and atmospheric that exploration becomes an adventure in itself. Every landmark you see in the distance can be reached, and every path hides secrets that reward curiosity and courage. Combat is as punishing and rewarding as fans expect from Software, offering endless flexibility through its deep build system. Whether you're a spellcaster, knight, assassin, or hybrid of all three, the freedom to craft your own playstyle makes each fight uniquely personal. And those boss battles, they're legendary. Each one a cinematic clash of power and precision that tests your skill and patience in the best possible way. Visually, Elden Ring is stunning, with ethereal lighting, haunting landscapes, and an atmosphere that feels alive in its stillness. From its sweeping orchestral score to its cryptic lore, everything feels designed to pull you deeper into its world. Personally, I think Elden Ring is not just a game. It's an experience that defines a generation, a perfect blend of freedom, challenge, and awe.
The first Elden Lord.
Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade might not be the cheapest game out there, but trust me, it's one of those experiences that's absolutely worth every cent. Like many of you, I've played countless action games, and Stellar Blade feels like a masterful blend of everything I love about the genre. From its fluid combat to its jaw-dropping visuals and emotionally charged story, this game pulls you in from the very start. You're thrown into a world that's as beautiful as it is deadly. Futuristic cities, desolate landscapes, and every location packed with incredible detail that makes exploration feel rewarding. One thing that really stands out about Stellar Blade is its balance in combat. It's challenging enough to keep you on edge, but not so punishing that it ever feels unfair. The smooth, responsive mechanics and the wide range of abilities make every encounter feel intense and satisfying. Whether you're cutting through hordes of enemies or facing off against towering bosses, pulling off that perfect dodge or landing a precise combo feels amazing. And the story, it's just as strong. The narrative weaves together emotion, mystery, and high-stakes action in a way that keeps you constantly invested. You'll find yourself caring about the characters, drawn in by their struggles, and hooked by the twists and turns along the way. If you're into action-packed games with a strong emotional core and visuals that'll leave your jaw on the floor, Stellar Blade is a must-play. It's the kind of game that reminds you why you fell in love with gaming in the first place. Resident Evil 4 Remake. If you're looking for a game that perfectly blends survival horror and action, Resident Evil 4 Remake is a masterpiece that demands your attention. This reimagined version of the classic not only pays respect to the original, but elevates it with stunning visuals, enhanced gameplay, and a deeper sense of atmosphere that keeps you on edge from start to finish. You step into the boots of Leon S. Kennedy, a government agent sent on a mission to rescue the president's kidnapped daughter. But what starts as a simple rescue quickly spirals into a nightmare of infected villagers, grotesque monsters, and heart-pounding encounters that'll test your nerves. The remake rebuilds everything from the ground up. Combat feels smoother, exploration is more rewarding, and every environment oozes tension and detail. What makes Resident Evil 4 Remake stand out is how it captures the spirit of the original while modernizing it for today's players. The over-the-shoulder shooting is tighter than ever. Every weapon feels powerful, and resource management is as crucial as it's always been. Each encounter forces you to think fast, aim true, and make every bullet count. The visuals are jaw-dropping, powered by Capcom's RE engine, which makes every shadow, every flicker of light, and every grotesque creature feel disturbingly real. The sound design is equally haunting. You'll hear the creak of old wood, distant growls, and the whisper of danger creeping up behind you. Whether you're a longtime fan of the series or diving in for the first time, Resident Evil 4 Remake delivers an unforgettable experience. It's intense, terrifying, and endlessly satisfying. A brilliant reinvention of one of gaming's all-time greats.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Sleeping Dogs. When it comes to open-world action games, Sleeping Dogs is one of the most underrated gems ever made. Developed by United Front Games, it drops you right into the heart of Hong Kong, a vibrant, chaotic city packed with crime, culture, and incredible atmosphere. You play as Wei Shun, an undercover cop infiltrating the dangerous triad underworld. It's a gripping story of loyalty, deception, and moral conflict, where every mission forces you to balance duty and brotherhood. The writing is sharp, and Wei Shun's journey feels genuinely cinematic. Gameplay-wise, Sleeping Dogs stands out from every other open-world game of its era. Instead of focusing just on guns, it delivers some of the best hand-to-hand combat ever, inspired by martial arts films. The fighting system feels fluid, brutal, and insanely satisfying, letting you counter enemies, use the environment, and pull off stylish takedowns straight out of an action movie. But that's not all. You'll be racing through neon-lit streets, engaging in high-speed chases, and exploring every corner of Hong Kong, from crowded markets to glitzy nightclubs. The world feels alive, packed with side missions, collectibles, and moments that make you feel like a part of the city. With its tight combat, great story, and cinematic flair, Sleeping Dogs is an unforgettable experience that deserved far more recognition. It's stylish, intense, and filled with heart. A true masterpiece that proves sometimes the best games are the ones that fly under the radar. Horizon Forbidden West. Horizon Forbidden West takes everything that made Zero Dawn special and elevates it into one of the most visually stunning RPGs on the PS5. The game expands Aloy's journey across a breathtaking open world filled with lush jungles, vast deserts, and mysterious ruins, all rendered with jaw-dropping detail and vibrant color. What truly sets Forbidden West apart is its deep progression system. Every skill you unlock feels meaningful, whether it enhances Aloy's combat prowess, stealth tactics, or crafting abilities. The gameplay strikes a perfect balance between action, exploration, and strategy, rewarding players who take time to master the art of hunting both human and machine foes. Each encounter feels alive, demanding careful planning and precision. From colossal robotic beasts to agile enemy tribes, every fight is a test of your adaptability and skill. Combined with emotional storytelling, incredible world building, and cinematic presentation, Horizon Forbidden West stands as one of the most immersive open-world adventures of its generation. The answer, as Aloy says, is always out there, waiting in the Forbidden West.
And I'll get the big guy.
Silent Hill 2. Horror games don't get more iconic than Silent Hill 2, and this remake is shaping up to be the definitive way to experience the legendary psychological nightmare. The original set the gold standard for slow-burning horror and emotional storytelling, and now, with modern visuals, refined gameplay, and haunting sound design, it's ready to terrify a new generation. What makes Silent Hill 2 so unforgettable is its atmosphere. It doesn't rely on cheap jump scares. Instead, it slowly creeps under your skin. Every shadow, every whisper, and every eerie silence adds to a growing sense of unease. The story is deeply emotional, unraveling themes of guilt, grief, and self-reflection that make your journey through the fog-covered town feel deeply personal. I've always loved horror games that make you think, and Silent Hill 2 does exactly that. It's a masterpiece of storytelling and psychological tension, where the real terror often lies within the human mind. If you're looking for something truly unsettling, something that lingers long after you've put down the controller, Silent Hill 2 is an absolute must-play.
Done talking! Done begging for validation!
Marvel's Spider-Man 2. If there's one word to describe Marvel's Spider-Man 2, it's spectacular. Developed by Insomniac Games, this sequel takes everything that made the first two games incredible and elevates it to superhero perfection. You swing through an expanded, jaw-droppingly detailed New York City, this time playing as both Peter Parker and Miles Morales, each with their own powers, stories, and emotional arcs. The moment you start web-swinging, you'll feel that signature Insomniac polish. Movement is faster, smoother, and more cinematic than ever, with the new web wings letting you glide across the city in style. The combat system is also a massive step up, fluid, dynamic, and filled with new abilities, including Peter's symbiote powers that bring a darker, more visceral edge to the action. But it's not just about flashy combat. Spider-Man 2 dives deep into the personal struggles of both heroes, from Peter's haunting connection to Venom to Miles finding his place as his own Spider-Man. The story hits hard with emotional moments, thrilling set pieces, and jaw-dropping boss fights that feel straight out of a Marvel movie. Visually, it's one of the most stunning games on the PS5, with incredible lighting, reflections, and attention to detail that make the city feel truly alive. Personally, I think Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is the definitive superhero experience. Bold, emotional, and endlessly fun. It's everything fans dreamed of and more.
It's getting really aggressive.
Hey, you
Sunset Overdrive. Now for something completely different. Sunset Overdrive is pure chaos, color, and fun cranked up to 11. Developed by Insomniac Games, this open-world action-adventure throws you into a post-apocalyptic city overrun not by zombies, but by mutants created from a toxic energy drink. Yeah, you heard that right. You play as a snarky, customizable protagonist who doesn't take anything seriously, and that's exactly what makes this game so refreshing. The tone is over the top, self-aware, and constantly breaking the fourth wall. It's like a comic book that exploded into a video game. The gameplay, absolutely wild. You grind on rails, bounce off cars, and zip across rooftops while blasting mutants with some of the most creative weapons ever designed, like exploding teddy bears or acid-spraying shotguns. Movement is everything here. Staying still means death, so the game rewards stylish, high-energy combat that keeps you in constant motion. Visually, Sunset Overdrive is bursting with neon color and personality, a complete contrast to the typical dark, gritty, apocalyptic games, and that punk rock soundtrack perfectly fuels the chaos. It's not about surviving, it's about having a blast while the world ends. Sunset Overdrive is a love letter to pure, ridiculous fun, and one of the most underrated open-world experiences out there.
Eat this, asshole! Over here! Take something in your hand and ram it down his throat!
Attacking me! I'll tear you apart!
A Plague Tale Requiem. A Plague Tale Requiem is a hauntingly beautiful masterpiece, a continuation of Amicia and Hugo's emotional journey through a world consumed by darkness, disease, and despair. Developed by Asobo Studio, this sequel takes everything the first game did and amplifies it to near perfection. The story follows Amicia and her little brother Hugo as they travel south, seeking a cure for the curse that plagues him. What begins as a glimmer of hope quickly turns into another heart-wrenching struggle for survival. The emotional weight of their bond drives the narrative. Every whisper, every scream, every moment of silence feels real and human. Visually, Requiem is breathtaking. Sun-drenched landscapes contrast with nightmarish swarms of rats that flood streets like living shadows. The world feels alive yet doomed, and the stunning orchestral score deepens every moment of tension and heartbreak. Gameplay evolves too. Amicia is more capable and determined than ever. Stealth, strategy, and survival blend seamlessly as you navigate war-torn villages, dense forests, and collapsing ruins. The way the game balances vulnerability and strength makes every encounter deeply emotional. A Plague Tale Requiem isn't just a game, it's an experience. A powerful cinematic story about love, loss, and the unbearable weight of hope. Tekken 8. Tekken 8 takes the legendary fighting series to new heights, combining high-octane action, cinematic storytelling, and jaw-dropping visuals that redefine what a modern fighter can be. Developed by Bandai Namco, this latest entry pushes the power of Unreal Engine 5 to its limits, delivering fluid animations, detailed character models, and stages bursting with energy and atmosphere. At its core, Tekken 8 continues the explosive saga of the Mishima bloodline, focusing on the final confrontation between Jin Kazama and Kazuya Mishima. The story mode feels like an interactive movie, filled with drama, emotion, and beautifully choreographed battles that seamlessly blend gameplay with cinematics. Whether you're a longtime fan or a newcomer, it's incredibly easy to get invested in this brutal family feud. Combat-wise, Tekken 8 is faster, more aggressive, and more rewarding than ever. The new Heat system encourages offensive play, rewarding players for staying on the attack with new moves and combos. Every punch, kick, and counter feels impactful, supported by an excellent balance between accessibility and high-skill mastery. The roster is stacked with iconic fighters and fresh faces, all meticulously designed and uniquely balanced. Visually, it's a showstopper. Particle effects, lighting, and character expressions all feel next-gen, making every fight feel like a cinematic spectacle. Personally, Tekken 8 is not just the best-looking entry in the franchise, but one of the most polished and adrenaline-pumping fighting games ever made. It's proof that the King of Iron Fist tournament still reigns supreme. Immortals Fenyx Rising. Here's a game that doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's exactly what makes it such a joy to play. Immortals Fenyx Rising, developed by Ubisoft, is a mythological open-world adventure that feels like a mix between Zelda Breath of the Wild and a Greek comedy show. You play as Fenyx, a customizable hero who suddenly finds themselves caught in a divine mess. The world's gods have been turned to stone, and the monstrous Typhon is wreaking havoc across the Golden Isle. Your mission? Restore the gods, defeat Typhon, and bring balance to the world, all while being constantly roasted by the hilarious narrators Zeus and Prometheus. Gameplay-wise, it's a blast. You explore a stunning, colorful world filled with puzzles, dungeons, and secrets. Combat is fast, fluid, and packed with mythological weapons and powers, from the wings of Daedalus to the strength of Heracles. And those vault puzzles, they'll seriously test your brain power. What really makes Immortals Fenyx Rising stand out is its tone. It's lighthearted, witty, and filled with clever humor that pokes fun at Greek mythology while still telling an engaging story. The art style is vibrant and cartoony, creating a world that's both beautiful and inviting. If you're looking for an open-world adventure that doesn't drown you in seriousness, one that mixes fun gameplay, mythic powers, and genuine charm, Immortals Fenyx Rising is an underrated gem you absolutely shouldn't miss. Spec Ops: The Line. Now let's talk about a game that looks like a standard third-person military shooter on the surface, but beneath that, it's one of the darkest and most thought-provoking experiences in gaming. Spec Ops: The Line is a psychological war drama that takes you deep into the chaos of Dubai, buried under sandstorms and moral corruption. You play as Captain Martin Walker, leading a Delta Force team sent to locate survivors of a rogue US battalion. What starts as a simple recon mission quickly spirals into a descent into madness, where every choice carries weight and every bullet fired questions your own morality. What makes this game unforgettable isn't just its intense combat or cinematic presentation, it's the story. The game deliberately subverts every shooter trope you know, forcing you to confront the horrors of war and the consequences of your actions. The further you go, the more disturbing it gets, leading to one of the most gut-punching endings ever made. It's bold, it's brutal, and it doesn't care about making you feel like a hero. Spec Ops: The Line is a masterpiece of storytelling that still sparks discussions over a decade later. If you've never played it, you're missing one of gaming's most powerful narratives.
Heads up, sandstorm's moving in.
Cover me! I'm reloading!
Could be. Now, dig in and get ready.
The Order 1886. When The Order 1886 launched, it sparked mixed opinions. But here's the truth. This game is an underrated masterpiece. Set in an alternate history Victorian London, you play as a Knight of the Order, an elite group tasked with hunting supernatural threats. The visuals are absolutely stunning, with some of the most detailed environments ever created. The world building is rich, blending steampunk technology with historical elements, creating a cinematic experience that feels unlike anything else. The gameplay focuses on immersive storytelling and intense third-person shooting, and while it's a shorter experience, every scene drips with atmosphere and polish. It truly feels like playing through a high-budget film. I remember being completely drawn into The Order 1886's world. Sure, it's short, but it leaves a lasting impression. This game deserved far more love than it got, and honestly, I still hope we get a sequel someday. Risk of Rain 2. Now here's something completely different. Risk of Rain 2 is chaotic, addictive, and one of the most replayable roguelikes ever made. Developed by Hopoo Games, it takes the 2D formula of the original Risk of Rain and transforms it into a full 3D experience, while keeping everything that made the first game so special. At its core, it's simple. You land on a mysterious alien planet, fight off endless waves of enemies, collect loot, and try to survive as long as possible. But the twist? The longer you play, the harder the game gets. The difficulty literally literally scales with time, so every second you waste, the world becomes more hostile. Each run feels completely unique. You can choose from a roster of diverse survivors, from the commando and huntress to the loader and engineer, each with their own weapons, playstyles, and abilities. And as you collect items, your build starts to spiral into pure chaos. Faster movement, higher damage, infinite rockets, until you become an unstoppable powerhouse. What really makes Risk of Rain 2 special is its atmosphere. The soundtrack is phenomenal, calm and mysterious one moment, then exploding into epic intensity as the enemies flood in. The minimalist storytelling through logs and environments gives the world a haunting, lonely beauty that fits perfectly with the game's endless struggle to survive. It's fast, it's challenging, and it's incredibly rewarding. Whether you play solo or with friends, Risk of Rain 2 delivers that perfect loop of tension, discovery, and pure adrenaline every single run.
Something tells me we're heading in the right...
Max Payne 3. Max Payne 3 is a masterclass in cinematic storytelling and brutal third-person shooting. Developed by Rockstar Games, this title follows the tormented ex-cop Max Payne, now working as a private security guard in Sao Paulo, Brazil. But old habits die hard, and so does Max's past. The story is a gritty, emotional descent into chaos, filled with stylish slow-motion gunfights, graphic realism, and some of the best shootouts ever put in a video game. The combat feels heavy, precise, and deeply satisfying, with every bullet carrying weight. What makes Max Payne 3 so remarkable is how seamlessly it blends gameplay with storytelling. The cutscenes transition directly into gameplay, giving it a movie-like flow. The noir-inspired narration and Max's broken voice add layers of depth to his pain and cynicism. Visually, the game's lighting, environmental detail, and animation still hold up incredibly well even today. And the soundtrack by Health, absolutely perfect, tense, atmospheric, and unforgettable. Max Payne 3 isn't just a shooter. It's a tragic, adrenaline-fueled journey through guilt, revenge, and redemption. A must-play for anyone who loves hard-hitting action and raw storytelling. Okami. Few games can truly be called works of art, but Okami is one of them. Inspired by traditional Japanese sumi ink painting, its breathtaking visuals feel like a living, moving canvas. You play as Amaterasu, a wolf goddess tasked with restoring beauty to a world consumed by corruption. The game's unique celestial brush mechanic lets you interact with the environment by drawing symbols, whether it's slicing enemies in half, creating gusts of wind, or bringing life back to the land. The combat is fluid, the world overflows with charm, and the story feels timeless. A heartfelt adventure filled with wonder and emotion. There's something magical about Okami that's hard to describe. Every moment feels like you're walking through a living painting, and the celestial brush mechanic remains one of the most creative gameplay systems ever made. But beyond its visuals, it's the story that stays with you. The journey of Amaterasu and Issen is full of warmth, humor, and heart. Okami isn't just a game, it's a legend brought to life, a masterpiece that makes you feel like part of something greater. Detroit Become Human. If you're a fan of story-driven games that make you question every decision, then Detroit Become Human is an absolute must-play. This game doesn't just tell a story, it lets you live it. Set in a near-future Detroit where androids serve humanity, the game explores what happens when these machines begin to think, feel, and fight for their freedom. You take control of 3 androids, Connor, Kara, and Marcus, each with their own perspective on what it means to be alive. Every choice you make carries real consequences, shaping not just the story, but the entire fate of the world around them. What makes Detroit Become Human so engaging is how those choices ripple outward, leading to hundreds of possible outcomes. Every dialogue option and quick decision can change everything. The performances are phenomenal, bringing each character to life with emotion and depth. And visually, the game is stunning. Every environment feels alive, from the cold, rain-soaked streets to the warm glow of futuristic homes. The atmosphere keeps you completely immersed, and the tension of knowing your next choice could be your last only adds to the thrill. What I love most about Detroit Become Human is how it makes you reflect on your own morals. Do you fight for freedom no matter the cost, or do you follow your programming and obey? There's no right or wrong answer, only your story. If you want a single-player experience that combines cinematic storytelling, emotional impact, and true player freedom, Detroit Become Human is one game that's worth every second of your time. Titanfall 2. Now let's talk about one of the greatest first-person shooters ever made, Titanfall 2. Developed by Respawn Entertainment, this game delivers everything you could want from a fast-paced, cinematic FPS, tight gunplay, incredible movement mechanics, and one of the best single-player campaigns of the generation. You play as Jack Cooper, a rifleman who unexpectedly becomes the pilot of a Titan named BT-7274 after his commander is killed in action. What follows is an unforgettable journey through war-torn worlds, as man and machine form a surprisingly emotional bond that carries the entire story. The gameplay is where Titanfall 2 truly shines. The fluid parkour movement, wall running, sliding, double jumping makes every gunfight feel like an adrenaline rush. Then there are the Titans, giant mech suits that change the battlefield completely, each with unique weapons and abilities that make combat feel endlessly dynamic. And let's not forget the campaign design. Every mission introduces a new, mind-blowing mechanic, from time travel to gravity-defying level design, making it impossible to get bored. It's innovative, fast, and constantly surprising. While it was criminally overlooked at launch, Titanfall 2 has since earned its place as a cult classic. It's got heart, creativity, and gameplay that still outshines most modern shooters. Simply put, it's one of the best FPS experiences you can ever play. Quantum Break. From the creators of Alan Wake and Control, Quantum Break stands as one of the most ambitious games of its time. It blends third-person shooting with time manipulation, letting you freeze enemies, rewind events, and teleport short distances, creating some of the most satisfying combat moments in the genre. But what really sets Quantum Break apart is its storytelling. Between chapters, the game seamlessly transitions into live-action TV episodes that expand the narrative, featuring Hollywood talent like Shawn Ashmore and Aidan Gillen. Their performances give the entire experience a cinematic quality that still feels fresh today. I've always loved games that experiment with storytelling, and Quantum Break delivered something truly unique. The way the live-action episodes connected directly to the gameplay made it feel like I was inside a high-budget sci-fi show. And those time powers? Easily some of the most fun mechanics I've ever used in a shooter. Few things compare to dodging bullets in a flash and watching time explode around you.
I'm ready! Just find me an opening!
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Now here's a game that absolutely nails the spirit of its source material. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Developed by Eidos Montreal, this isn't just another superhero game, it's a heartfelt, hilarious, and surprisingly emotional space adventure that perfectly captures what makes the Guardians so special. You play as Star-Lord, the self-proclaimed leader of this chaotic crew, Gamora, Drax, Rocket, and Groot. While you can only control Star-Lord directly, the real magic lies in commanding your teammates mid-battle. Every Guardian has unique abilities, abilities, and coordinating them in combat creates a sense of teamwork that feels alive and dynamic. But the real strength of this game isn't just in the gameplay, it's the writing. The banter between the crew is constant, witty, and genuinely funny, but underneath all the jokes, there's a deeply emotional story about grief, guilt, and found family. Each character gets meaningful development, and by the end, you'll care about every one of them. The world design is breathtaking. Vibrant alien planets, weird creatures, and colorful cosmic vistas that feel straight out of a comic book. And that soundtrack? Pure gold. It's packed with 80s rock hits that make every fight and every spaceship moment feel like a movie scene. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is proof that you don't need multiplayer or open-world gimmicks to make a great superhero game. With sharp writing, emotional storytelling, and fantastic music, it's one of the most entertaining and heartfelt single-player adventures in recent years.
We're supposed to capture that by beating him into submission.
We're gonna have to get through that ice armor first!
Prepare yourself. Face Captain Heatclaw. Ha! Look at him struggle.
You said he had purple shorts!
I'm coming. No! Get back! Get back!
A Plague Tale: Innocence. Now this one, A Plague Tale: Innocence, is pure storytelling brilliance. Developed by Asobo Studio, it's a dark, emotional journey through one of the most haunting worlds ever created in gaming. Set in 14th century France during the Black Plague, the game tells the story of Amicia and her little brother Hugo, two siblings trying to survive in a world collapsing under disease, war, and superstition. You play as Amicia, a young girl suddenly forced to grow up when the Inquisition hunts her family down. Together with Hugo, she must escape through villages filled with corpses, swarms of flesh-eating rats, and soldiers who'll kill them on sight. But at its heart, this isn't just a survival story. It's about love, innocence, and the unbreakable bond between brother and sister. The gameplay masterfully blends stealth, puzzle solving, and environmental strategy. You'll use light to ward off rats, craft tools to distract guards, and slowly uncover the terrifying truth behind Hugo's mysterious connection to the plague itself. The pacing is perfect. Every chapter feels tense, cinematic, and deeply human. Visually, the game is stunning. Gloomy sunsets, foggy fields, and candlelit cathedrals all create a world that's both beautiful and horrifying. If you love story-driven adventures that hit straight in the heart, this one's absolutely unmissable.
All the angels will descend on the altar, angels. I know you're hungry.
Now you go! Don't miss!
Soon you shall eat.
Keep his rocks away from the middle!
Alright, I'll heal them.
Rage 2. Rage 2 is what happens when you take the high-speed chaos of Mad Max, mix it with Doom-style combat, and throw it all into a neon-soaked wasteland. It's an open-world shooter where explosions, insane abilities, and high-octane gunplay are the order of the day. You play as Walker, one of the last Rangers, on a mission to take down the tyrannical authority. The shooting mechanics are some of the best in any open-world FPS. The weapons feel powerful, the movement is smooth, and every encounter bursts with pure adrenaline. But what makes Rage 2 truly special is that it doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's exactly what makes it so fun. Sometimes I just want to shut off my brain and cause absolute chaos, and Rage 2 lets me do exactly that. The moment I got my hands on the Grav Dart launcher, which lets you fling enemies around like ragdolls, I knew this game was something special. It's a reminder of why we play video games in the first place. Pure, unfiltered mayhem, and an explosion of joy from start to finish. Dragon's Dogma 2. Dragon's Dogma 2 is a grand, open-world fantasy adventure that captures the spirit of discovery, danger, and destiny like few games can. Developed by Capcom, this long-awaited sequel expands on everything that made the original a cult classic. delivering a world that feels alive, unpredictable, and deeply immersive. You play as the Arisen, a chosen hero bound to a dragon by fate. From the moment your heart is stolen, your journey becomes one of vengeance, purpose, and power. The world of Dragon's Dogma 2 isn't just vast, it's dynamic. Every encounter, every path, every choice feels organic, shaped by the world's living, breathing ecosystem. The pawn system returns and shines brighter than ever. You can recruit AI companions that fight, explore, and strategize with you, making every battle feel tactical and alive. Combat is exhilarating, blending fluid melee action with deep RPG mechanics. Whether you're scaling a towering griffin or unleashing a devastating spell, the thrill never fades. Visually, it's a masterpiece. From sunlit valleys to moonlit ruins, every frame looks like a painting. And beneath the beauty lies danger, the kind that rewards curiosity but punishes recklessness. Dragon's Dogma 2 is more than an RPG. It's a journey of fate and freedom, where your story unfolds naturally in a world that never stops moving. Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection. There's something truly special about diving back into Uncharted 4 and The Lost Legacy on PS5. I still remember playing these games on the PS4 and being blown away by their cinematic storytelling, breathtaking set pieces, and that signature Uncharted mix of action, humor, and heart. But playing the Legacy of Thieves Collection on PS5 takes the experience to an entirely new level. The biggest improvement is how incredibly smooth everything feels. The 60 frames per second performance mode transforms gameplay. Whether you're swinging across collapsing bridges or dodging bullets during chaotic gunfights, every movement feels fluid and responsive. The upgraded visuals also shine here, with sharper textures, richer lighting, and faster load times that make the adventure seamless from start to finish. What truly makes this collection timeless, though, is the quality of the games themselves. Uncharted 4 delivers an emotional, character-driven finale to Nathan Drake's story, while The Lost Legacy proves the series can thrive even without its iconic lead. Both are packed with jaw-dropping moments and heartfelt storytelling. Whether you're experiencing them for the first time or revisiting for nostalgia, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection is cinematic gaming at its absolute best. A perfect showcase of how PS5 can breathe new life into modern classics.
Let's make this quick.
It Takes Two. Few games capture the magic of cooperation like It Takes Two. Developed by Hazelight Studios, this masterpiece turns teamwork into an art form, blending creativity, humor, and heartfelt storytelling into one of the most inventive co-op experiences ever made. You play as Cody and May, a couple on the verge of divorce who are magically transformed into dolls, forced to work together through a whimsical world to fix their broken relationship. Every level feels like a brand new game, filled with clever mechanics that constantly surprise you. One moment you're swinging on nails and hammers. The next, you're flying through a garden or controlling time and cloning yourself. The variety is staggering. There's never a dull moment. And what really ties it all together is how the gameplay perfectly mirrors the story's emotional beats. It's not just about puzzles or platforming, it's about learning to cooperate, forgive, and reconnect. Visually, It Takes Two is bursting with charm. Vibrant worlds, expressive characters, and imaginative set pieces that look like something straight out of a Pixar movie. Whether you're laughing through a chaotic boss fight or tearing up at a touching scene, it's an experience best shared. Personally, I think this is one of the best co-op games ever created, not just because it's fun, but because it reminds us why playing together matters. It Takes Two is pure creative brilliance from start to finish. Vampyr. Now this one's something truly unique. Vampyr is a dark, story-driven action RPG that lets you walk the fine line between being a savior and a monster. Developed by Dontnod Entertainment, the minds behind Life is Strange. This game puts you in the shoes of Dr. Jonathan Reed, a brilliant doctor turned vampire in 1918, London during the Spanish flu outbreak. The central conflict? You're a healer sworn to save lives, but you also crave blood to survive. Every choice you make affects the world around you. Do you feed on the innocent to grow stronger, or do you resist your hunger and protect the city's fragile population? It's a moral dilemma that constantly tests you. Gameplay mixes investigation, dialogue choices, and intense combat, with each citizen in the world having their own background, relationships, and importance. Killing someone isn't just another quest decision. It can completely alter the city's ecosystem, unlocking new powers but plunging districts into chaos. The writing dives deep into themes of guilt, sacrifice, and identity, making it more than just another vampire game. Vampyr might not be perfect in combat mechanics, but its storytelling and moral depth make it unforgettable. It's a game that asks not just what you'll do to survive, but who you're willing to become.
Where is she?
The Surge. At first glance, The Surge looks like a futuristic Dark Souls, and in many ways that's exactly what it is. But what truly sets it apart is its intense limb targeting system, allowing you to slice off enemy body parts to steal their armor and weapons. The combat feels weighty, brutal, and deeply satisfying, supported by a rewarding progression system that constantly encourages exploration. The dystopian setting, where a malfunctioning AI has turned an industrial facility into a death trap, creates an eerie atmosphere that keeps you on edge. Unlike many Souls-like games, The Surge also tells a compelling story through environmental storytelling and audio logs, slowly unraveling the tragedy of its world. I remember jumping into The Surge expecting just another Souls-like clone, but what I got was so much more. The feeling of slicing off an enemy's armored limb and then equipping that exact piece onto my character was incredibly rewarding. Every encounter forces you to make choices. Do you go for the quick kill or risk targeting a specific part for better loot? That constant balance of risk and reward makes every fight thrilling, and the industrial sci-fi setting gives it a fresh identity that most Souls-likes simply lack. Astro Bot. Astro Bot is back, and it's everything fans could have hoped for. A joyful, imaginative platforming masterpiece that perfectly showcases what the PS5 can do. What began as a charming tech demo with Astro's Playroom has now evolved into a full-fledged adventure that celebrates the magic of gaming itself. The game makes brilliant use of the DualSense controller, turning every jump, glide, and step into a tactile experience. You'll feel the tension in the adaptive triggers as Astro swings across gaps, and the subtle haptic feedback as he walks across different surfaces, from sand to metal to ice. No other game highlights the PS5's unique features quite like this one, but beyond the tech, Astro Bot is overflowing with heart. It's packed with clever references, cameos, and nods to PlayStation's rich history, from Metal Gear Solid to Shadow of the Colossus, making every level feel like a nostalgic celebration of the brand's legacy. With its tight platforming, creative boss fights, and constant sense of wonder, Astro Bot captures the pure joy of gaming in a way few titles ever do. It's not just a must-play, it's a love letter to every PlayStation fan.
Too many.
Days Gone. Days Gone is an emotional, gritty, and deeply immersive open-world experience that perfectly captures the chaos of survival and the fragility of hope. Developed by Bend Studio, this post-apocalyptic masterpiece tells a story not just about the end of the world, but about what it means to keep living in it. You play as Deacon St. John, a drifter, biker, and former outlaw trying to survive in a world overrun by freakers, savage, infected creatures that move like a tidal wave of death. But beneath the chaos lies something far more human: love, loss, loyalty, and the desperate search for redemption. Deacon isn't your typical hero. He's broken, haunted, and angry. Yet his journey is one of incredible heart. His bond with his missing wife Sarah drives every decision he makes, giving the story a raw emotional core that hits hard. The gameplay perfectly blends open-world exploration, tense survival mechanics, and dynamic combat. You'll scavenge for supplies, craft weapons, and ride across a beautifully decaying Oregon landscape on your bike, your most trusted companion in a world that wants you dead. Days Gone is atmospheric, cinematic, and brutally real. Every encounter feels unpredictable, every night brings new dangers, and every victory feels earned. It's not just a story about surviving the apocalypse, it's about finding purpose when everything's been stripped away. Final Fantasy XVI. Final Fantasy XVI is an epic dark fantasy adventure that pushes the legendary franchise into bold new territory. Developed by Creative Business Unit 3 under Square Enix, this entry trades the series' traditional party-based combat for fast-paced cinematic action, and it absolutely delivers. You play as Clive Rossfield, a warrior bound by fate, vengeance, and the overwhelming power of icons, mythical beasts that define the world's balance of power. From the moment it begins, Final Fantasy XVI grips you with its tone, mature, intense, and emotionally charged. The storytelling feels like a blend of Game of Thrones and classic Final Fantasy magic, filled with political intrigue, tragedy, and breathtaking battles. Every icon showdown feels colossal, like two gods clashing in a spectacle that pushes the PS5 to its absolute limits. Combat is where the game truly shines. It's fluid, stylish, and immensely satisfying, with Clive able to channel icon powers to unleash devastating combos. The director of Devil May Cry 5 designed the combat, and you can feel that DNA in every hit. Yet, beneath the chaos lies a deeply human story about loss, duty, and hope in a world consumed by darkness. Visually, Final Fantasy XVI is jaw-dropping. From massive castles and scorched battlefields to glowing crystals and mythical creatures, it's a visual triumph. Personally, I think this is one of the most cinematic and emotionally powerful entries in the franchise, a true next-gen Final Fantasy that blends heart, spectacle, and unforgettable storytelling.
Bow down, offenders, hearts they stain.
Banishers Ghosts of New Eden. Banishers Ghosts of New Eden is an emotionally charged, story-driven adventure that blends love, loss, and the supernatural into something truly unforgettable. Developed by Don't Nod, the studio behind Life is Strange, this game takes narrative-driven storytelling to a whole new level. You play as Red Mac Wraith, a ghost hunter and your banisher, sworn to protect the living from lingering spirits. But everything changes when his partner and lover, Antea Duarte, becomes one of those very spirits. What follows is a heartbreaking journey through 17th century New Eden, where love collides with duty and every decision weighs heavy on your soul. The moral choices in Banishers are brutal. Will you honor your oath and banish the dead, or sacrifice innocent lives to bring back the one you love? Every choice shapes the story and challenges your sense of right and wrong. Visually, the game is stunning. Gloomy forests, snow-covered villages, and spectral worlds come alive with rich atmosphere. Combat is fluid and emotional, as you switch between Red's physical attacks and Antea's ghostly powers, creating a dynamic balance between love and vengeance. Banishers Ghosts of New Eden isn't just about fighting spirits, it's about confronting the pain of loss and the impossible choices love forces us to make.
Standing by.
The Evil Within 2. Now we're diving into the nightmarish world of The Evil Within 2, a survival horror masterpiece that blends psychological terror, emotional storytelling, and intense action into one unforgettable experience. Developed by Tango Gameworks and directed by Shinji Mikami, the creator of Resident Evil, this sequel takes everything great about the first game and turns it up to 11. You play as Detective Sebastian Castellanos, a broken man haunted by his past who's given one last chance to save his missing daughter, Lily. To do that, he must enter STEM, a twisted, artificial world where reality bends and monsters lurk behind every corner. What sets The Evil Within 2 apart is how it combines open-ended exploration with pure survival horror. The town of Union acts as a semi-open world filled with terrifying encounters, creepy side stories, and limited resources that force you to think carefully about every move. The combat feels sharp and satisfying, and the stealth mechanics add tension as you sneak through ruined neighborhoods filled with grotesque creatures. But beyond the scares, the story is deeply personal, a tale of loss, guilt, and redemption wrapped inside layers of psychological horror. Visually, it's stunning, grotesque yet beautiful, with nightmarish enemy designs and hauntingly detailed environments. The atmosphere keeps you constantly uneasy, but it's the emotional core that makes it powerful. The Evil Within 2 isn't just about surviving monsters, it's about surviving your own mind. It's an underrated gem in the horror genre and one of the most gripping psychological thrillers you can play.
You hurt me. You'll hurt her too. I won't let you.
God damn it, Myra! Stop this! Think about what you're doing!
Marvel's Midnight Suns. Now here's a game that mixes superhero action with deep tactical strategy. Marvel's Midnight Suns. Developed by Firaxis, the creators of XCOM, this isn't your typical Marvel brawler. Instead of button mashing your way through enemies, you'll be carefully planning every move, every ability, and every combo in a brilliant turn-based system. You play as the Hunter, a fully customizable hero, the first original character in the Marvel Universe, awakened to lead the fight against Lilith, the Mother of Demons. The gameplay is where Midnight Suns really stands out. It blends tactical combat with deck-building mechanics, meaning every battle feels like a mix of chess and chaos. Positioning, synergy, and timing matter just as much as power. But outside of combat, the game offers something rare, a genuine connection with its heroes. You can train, talk, and bond with your team at the Abbey, learning about their fears, regrets, and hopes. It's surprisingly emotional and gives the game real heart beyond the strategy layer. Visually, it's stylish and cinematic, with an amazing score that fits the darker, supernatural tone of the story. Marvel's Midnight Suns is the perfect blend of brains and brawn, a game that proves strategy can be just as thrilling as raw action. If you ever wanted to lead Earth's mightiest heroes your way, this is your chance.
You quit now!
Anguish. My answer is beneath you. Give it to me.
Returnal. Returnal isn't just a game about survival. It's a psychological odyssey wrapped in intense sci-fi action. Every loop through its ever-changing alien world is unpredictable, immersive, and dripping with atmosphere. The fast-paced third-person shooting is some of the best on the PS5, and the DualSense controller makes every weapon, movement, and impact feel incredibly responsive. I love how the game constantly keeps you on edge. Every death feels like a lesson, and every victory feels truly earned. The story dives deep into the mind of Celine, uncovering haunting mysteries that blend science fiction and psychological horror in a way few games dare to attempt. It's one of the most unique experiences on the console, challenging, mysterious, and unforgettable. When Celine says, "I have found a deceased Astra Scout here," well, I recognize that expression anyway. It hits hard because you feel that same despair and determination. Returnal is an emotional and atmospheric journey that rewards persistence, curiosity, and a taste for the unknown.
My turn now.
Hope you're better than your friend.
Mafia Definitive Edition. Mafia Definitive Edition is a cinematic masterpiece that transports you straight into the golden age of organized crime. Developed by Hangar 13, this complete remake of the 2002 classic reimagines Tommy Angelo's story with breathtaking visuals, powerful performances, and a gripping, emotional narrative. You step into the shoes of Tommy, a humble taxi driver who gets pulled into the criminal underworld of Lost Heaven, a city brimming with corruption, betrayal, and ambition. What begins as a desperate move for survival soon spirals into a life of loyalty, crime, and consequences that no one can truly escape. Every mission feels like a scene from a classic mob film, full of tension, drama, and style. The attention to detail is immaculate. Period-accurate cars, sharp suits, smoky jazz bars, and rain-slicked streets that make the 1930s come alive. The gameplay perfectly balances story and action, from intense shootouts and high-speed chases to quiet, emotional moments that remind you who Tommy really is. The voice acting and cinematic direction elevate the experience, making every line and glance feel meaningful. Mafia Definitive Edition isn't just a remake, it's a reimagined tale of power, loyalty, and tragedy. A reminder that in the world of crime, every rise comes with a cost.
Come in here!
Down there!
Shoot him before he comes up the stairs!
Death Stranding Director's Cut. Few games are as unique and thought-provoking as Death Stranding Director's Cut. Created by the visionary Hideo Kojima, this isn't your typical action game. It's an emotional, atmospheric journey about connection, isolation, and rebuilding a shattered world. You play as Sam Porter Bridges, a courier tasked with reconnecting a fractured America after a mysterious event known as the Death Stranding. The gameplay focuses on traversal and delivery, but it's far from mundane. Every step you take across its hauntingly beautiful landscapes feels meaningful. From climbing mountains to crossing rivers, you're constantly battling the environment itself. The director's cut enhances this experience with new tools, improved combat, and smoother traversal options, making the journey more accessible without losing its meditative essence. Visually, it's stunning. The game's photorealistic environments paired with a haunting soundtrack by Low Roar create a tone that's both lonely and awe-inspiring. You'll often stop just to admire the view, a testament to Kojima's unmatched world building. But what truly stands out is the story, a slow-burn narrative filled with symbolism, emotion, and unforgettable performances from Norman Reedus, Mads Mikkelsen, and Lea Seydoux. Personally, Death Stranding Director's Cut is one of those rare games that stays with you long after the credits roll. It's strange, beautiful, and deeply human, a masterpiece that redefines what video games can be. Gears 5. Gears 5 is an explosive, emotional, and visually stunning evolution of the Gears of War franchise, a perfect balance between cinematic storytelling and intense tactical combat. Developed by the Coalition, it expands the series beyond raw action to deliver one of its most personal and human stories yet. This time, the focus shifts to Kate Diaz, a soldier torn between loyalty to her squad and the terrifying secrets buried in her bloodline. As she searches for the truth behind her family and the origins of the Locust, the story dives deep into identity, loss, and the heavy burden of destiny. The gameplay is classic Gears, brutal, weighty, and endlessly satisfying, but now more open and dynamic. Expansive semi-open zones let you explore, uncover secrets, and approach combat your own way. From intense firefights to emotional cutscenes, everything flows seamlessly. Visually, Gears 5 is jaw-dropping. The environments range from icy wastelands to scorching deserts, each bursting with atmosphere and cinematic flair. Combine that with the thunderous soundtrack and impeccable sound design, and you've got an experience that feels epic from start to finish. At its core, Gears 5 isn't just about war. It's about sacrifice, legacy, and finding strength in the face of impossible choices.
but he found something more. I worried about him then, daydreaming at the cannery.
What Remains of Edith Finch? What Remains of Edith Finch is one of the most powerful emotional storytelling experiences ever created. Developed by Giant Sparrow, it's less a traditional game and more a deeply personal journey through memory, loss, and the fragile beauty of life itself. You play as Edith Finch, the last surviving member of the Finch family, returning to her mysterious childhood home to uncover the truth behind her family's haunting curse. Each room tells a story, a life, a tragedy, a fleeting moment frozen in time. The brilliance of this game lies in how it tells those stories. Every vignette feels distinct. You might be controlling a swing, flying a kite, or flipping between a comic book and a real-world horror. Each story changes how you play, blurring the line between gameplay and emotion until you're completely absorbed. The voice acting is heartfelt. The music is beautifully melancholic, and the pacing is immaculate. Every moment crafted to make you feel something. From wonder to heartbreak, it's a reminder of how storytelling in games can reach places words alone never could. What Remains of Edith Finch isn't about winning or losing. It's about understanding, about seeing life, death, and family through the eyes of those who came before.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights
Enslaved Odyssey to the West. Now this one's a hidden masterpiece that deserves way more love. Enslaved Odyssey to the West. Developed by Ninja Theory, it's a cinematic action adventure that reimagines the classic Chinese tale Journey to the West in a post-apocalyptic future where nature has reclaimed the ruins of humanity. You play as Monkey, a powerful and agile survivor who becomes bound by a slave headband to a young tech-savvy woman named Trip. She forces him to escort her safely across the wasteland. But what starts as reluctant survival soon grows into one of gaming's most heartfelt and emotional partnerships. The storytelling here is phenomenal. The chemistry between Monkey and Trip feels real thanks to stellar performances and motion capture work by Andy Serkis. Their evolving bond carries the emotional core of the game. It's touching, raw, and incredibly human. Gameplay combines fast, fluid melee combat with light platforming and puzzle solving. Monkey's staff-based fighting style feels weighty and satisfying, while his acrobatic movement across crumbling skyscrapers and overgrown highways keeps the pacing smooth and cinematic. And visually, even today, the world is breathtaking. Vibrant colors, lush overgrowth, and ruined cities give the game a unique, hopeful tone despite its apocalyptic setting. Enslaved Odyssey to the West is a rare gem, a beautifully written adventure that blends emotion, action, and artistry. It's one of those games that quietly leaves a lasting impression long after you've finished it.
Points! Try shooting them! I'm marking them for you now! Monkey! It's trying to cut through to the power core!
Up ahead. Looks like you're gonna have to fight.
Mirror's Edge. Back in 2008, Mirror's Edge did something no other game had truly mastered: first-person parkour. Instead of being another shooter, it focused entirely on movement, momentum, and flow. You play as Faith, a runner navigating a dystopian city where the government tightly controls everything. The game's clean, minimalistic art style, bright white rooftops contrasted with bold red pathways, makes it one of the most visually striking games ever made. Every jump, wall run, and roll feels exhilarating, and when you chain movements together perfectly, the game becomes pure magic. There's nothing quite like the rush of nailing a perfect rooftop run in Mirror's Edge. The sense of speed, the thrill of narrowly escaping enemies, and the sheer fluidity of movement make it one of the most immersive experiences I've ever had. It's not just a game, it's a feeling, a reminder that movement itself can be art. Sifu. If you love challenging games that reward skill, patience, and precision, Sifu is one you absolutely can't skip. This martial arts masterpiece puts you in the shoes of a young fighter on a relentless quest for vengeance, and every fight feels like a cinematic showdown straight out of a kung fu movie. What makes Sifu truly stand out is its combat. It's fast, fluid, and brutally satisfying. Every punch, kick, and counter feels heavy with impact, demanding perfect timing and awareness. The enemies won't go easy on you, and that's what makes victory so rewarding. You'll fail, you'll learn, and you'll come back stronger, because Sifu is built around mastering your craft through perseverance. The game's unique aging mechanic is pure genius. Each time you die, you grow older. With age comes more power, but also less resilience. It adds a layer of tension and strategy to every encounter. Do you fight recklessly and risk aging faster, or play carefully and preserve your youth? It's a brilliant balance of risk and reward that keeps you hooked from start to finish. Visually, Sifu is stunning, with stylish environments that shift from neon-lit clubs to quiet temples, each stage dripping with atmosphere and cinematic flair. The art direction is clean and expressive, turning every battle into something you'd want to screenshot. And the soundtrack, an intense mix of traditional and modern beats, perfectly fuels every punch you throw. At its core, Sifu isn't just about revenge, it's about mastery, discipline, and growth. It challenges you to become better with each defeat until you finally earn that flawless victory. If you're ready to test your limits and experience one of the most satisfying combat systems in modern gaming, Sifu is absolutely worth your time and money. Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus is a breathtaking masterpiece, a game that speaks softly yet echoes louder than most. Developed by Team Eco, it's a poetic journey of sacrifice, solitude, and the haunting cost of love. You play as Wander, a lone traveler who dares to challenge the impossible. His mission? To slay 16 colossal beings scattered across a vast, desolate land, all in the desperate hope of bringing a girl back to life. There are no bustling cities, no armies to fight, no dialogue-filled scenes, just you, your horse aggro, and the weight of what you must do. Each colossus feels like a living mountain, majestic, tragic, and unforgettable. The moment you cling to their fur as they shake the earth beneath you, you feel both the thrill of triumph and the sting of guilt. Every victory feels like a loss, a piece of your soul slipping away with each fallen giant. The world itself is quiet, yet alive with emotion. Sweeping landscapes, haunting music, and masterful minimalist storytelling come together to create something far beyond words. Shadow of the Colossus isn't just about defeating monsters, it's about what you lose in the process. Its beauty and sorrow perfectly intertwined. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Developed by Square Enix, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade masterfully blends nostalgia with modern innovation. It reimagines one of gaming's most beloved classics, bringing Cloud's journey through Midgar to life with cinematic visuals, refined real-time combat, and expanded storytelling that gives every character new depth and meaning. Whether you're a longtime fan or experiencing it for the first time, Intergrade feels like the ultimate version of this legendary tale. The combination of classic RPG elements and modern action gameplay strikes a perfect balance. Every swing of Cloud's sword, every spell cast, and every boss battle feels impactful and rewarding. The world of Midgar is more alive than ever, filled with vibrant characters, emotional moments, and unforgettable music. The remastered soundtrack alone deserves special praise. It's one of the best in gaming history, beautifully blending nostalgia with orchestral grandeur. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Intergrade doesn't just revisit the past, it reinvents it, delivering an unforgettable adventure that captures both the heart and the imagination.
Let's do this! Now you're in force.
Making fun of me? I don't
Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is a wild, heartfelt, and deeply human adventure. A game that effortlessly balances over-the-top humor with raw, emotional storytelling. Developed by Ryuga Gotoku Studio, this entry takes the beloved Yakuza formula to new heights, proving once again why this series is so special. You step into the shoes of Ichiban Kasuga, the endlessly optimistic underdog whose heart is as big as his punches. This time, his journey takes him all the way from Japan to the sunny shores of Hawaii, in search of something deeply personal, his long-lost mother. But as always, fate has other plans. The story is a beautiful mix of laughter, heartbreak, and redemption, filled with unforgettable characters who blur the line between ridiculous and deeply real. One moment you're laughing at absurd side quests, the next you're tearing up at a moment of pure sincerity. Gameplay builds on the turn-based combat of Yakuza Like a Dragon, adding even more style and depth. Strategic positioning, flashy team attacks, and creative job classes make every fight feel like a blend of chaos and art. Visually, it's stunning, bright, colorful, and full of life. Hawaii is packed with energy, secrets, and moments that make the world feel alive. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is more than just a game. It's a journey about friendship, hope, and staying true to yourself no matter how crazy life gets.
Do your work, tag me in. 俺の番だな。さっさと来い。ご乗車ありがとうございます。シートベルトをお締めください。右へ曲がります。
Demon's Souls. The remake of Demon's Souls is nothing short of a masterpiece, a haunting, beautiful revival of the game that started the entire Souls genre. Bluepoint Games took a beloved classic and rebuilt it from the ground up, modernizing every visual and technical aspect while preserving the brutal challenge and eerie atmosphere that made it so special. From the moment you step into Boletaria, you can feel the tension. The world is dark, oppressive, and utterly mesmerizing. Every corridor hides danger, every enemy demands respect. The combat is as punishing as ever, requiring patience, precision, and timing. And when you finally defeat one of its towering bosses after countless attempts, that feeling of triumph is unmatched. What truly stands out is the sheer craftsmanship. The lighting, texture work, and animations bring this world to life like never before. It's not quite as brutally hard as some later Souls titles, but it still delivers that perfect mix of frustration and satisfaction that defines the genre. Personally, I love how they refined it, honoring the original while making it accessible to new players. Demon's Souls on PS5 isn't just a remake, it's a rebirth, a chilling, unforgettable journey that set the foundation for modern action RPGs.
There are the horses. I'm not sure about this, but let's release them. One down, two to go.
Yep. Let's free them all.
A Way Out. A Way Out is a bold, emotional, and unforgettable journey about trust, brotherhood, and the price of freedom. Developed by Hazelight Studios and directed by Joseph Fares, it stands as one of the most unique co-op experiences ever made, a game that must be played with someone else to be truly understood. You play as Leo and Vincent, two prisoners from very different worlds who are forced to work together to escape captivity and confront the lives they left behind. What starts as a tense alliance soon grows into a genuine bond, filled with moments of humor, heartbreak, and betrayal. The storytelling here is deeply cinematic, seamlessly switching perspectives, cutting between scenes, and immersing both players in shared choices that actually matter. Whether you're sneaking through a hospital, racing down a river, or quietly opening up during a road trip, every moment feels human and alive. Gameplay blends stealth, action, and exploration with beautifully written dialogue that makes you forget you're playing a game. You're living a story, and when the final act hits, it delivers one of the most emotional and shocking twists in modern gaming. A Way Out isn't just about breaking free from prison, it's about the bonds we form, the trust we build, and the heartbreaking choices we make when everything's on the line.
All right, here we go. Here they come. Hold on back there! Just focus on driving, man! I'll keep them off our backs!
Stray. Sometimes the most powerful stories are told through silence, and Stray proves that beautifully. In this game, you don't play as a hero, a soldier, or a chosen one. You play as a cat, but not just any cat. A small, curious stray trying to survive and find its way home in a mysterious cyberpunk city inhabited by robots and secrets. From the very beginning, Stray pulls you in with its atmosphere. The neon-lit alleys, the rain-soaked streets, and the hauntingly beautiful world feel alive in every frame. It's not a big, explosive adventure, but a quiet and deeply emotional one. As you explore, you'll uncover bits and pieces of what happened to humanity while forming a bond with B12, a tiny drone companion who helps you interact with the world. The gameplay is a perfect blend of exploration, puzzles, and storytelling. You'll leap across rooftops, sneak through dark tunnels, and solve clever environmental challenges, all while experiencing the world from a cat's unique perspective. What makes Stray special is how it makes you feel. There's a strange comfort in its loneliness and a warmth in the small moments, like nuzzling a robot or curling up to rest as soft music plays in the background. Visually, it's stunning. Every corner of the city tells a story filled with detail and life despite its emptiness. And the soundtrack, gentle, melancholic, and atmospheric, perfectly complements the journey. Stray isn't just a game, it's an experience that reminds you how beauty can be found even in the most desolate places. It's short, sweet, and unforgettable. If you're looking for something unique, heartfelt, and visually breathtaking, Stray is a journey you shouldn't miss. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. If there's one game that truly feels made for the PS5, it's Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. This isn't just another entry in the iconic series, it's a technical showcase of what the console can do. The instant dimension hopping isn't just a flashy gimmick, it's a jaw-dropping feature that shows off the PS5's lightning-fast SSD and graphical power in full force. Combat is fast, colorful, and endlessly satisfying, filled with over-the-top weapons and explosive set pieces that never get old. The visuals are Pixar-level stunning, with environments so detailed and vibrant they feel like they've been pulled straight from an animated film. But what really makes Rift Apart special is how effortlessly fun it is. There's no frustration, no filler, just pure, polished joy from start to finish. The story adds real heart to all the chaos, with new characters like Rivet bringing fresh energy to the adventure. It's a game that reminds you why you fell in love with gaming in the first place, thrilling, heartfelt, and bursting with creativity. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart isn't just a must-play, it's a celebration of everything that makes PlayStation magic.
They all love me! You all love me! I am the destined emperor of this dimension! Of every dimension!
The Last of Us Part 1. Few games have left a mark on storytelling quite like The Last of Us Part 1. Rebuilt from the ground up by Naughty Dog, this remake isn't just a graphical upgrade, it's a complete reimagining of one of the greatest video games ever made. You play as Joel, a hardened survivor navigating a post-apocalyptic America, and Ellie, a young girl who may hold the key to humanity's future. What unfolds is an emotional, brutal, and unforgettable journey about love, loss, and the human will to survive. Every environment, animation, and facial expression has been enhanced to perfection. Gameplay-wise, The Last of Us Part 1 refines the original's mechanics with smoother movement, improved AI, and incredibly immersive combat. Every encounter feels tense and realistic, forcing you to think, scavenge, and fight for survival. Combined with Gustavo Santaolall's haunting soundtrack, it's an emotional roller coaster that hits just as hard now as it did in 2013, maybe even harder. Personally, The Last of Us Part 1 isn't just a remake, it's a masterpiece reborn. It reminds us why this story became a modern classic in the first place. Every moment feels deliberate, powerful, and beautifully human. Simply put, this is storytelling at its absolute best. And that wraps up 50 perfect 10 out of 10 games that deserve a spot on every gamer's list. If you discovered even one new masterpiece today, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed for more incredible game breakdowns. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.